The sun was setting over the quiet village of Umudike, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Grandma Roseline sat on a low stool under her favorite udala tree, weaving a basket with nimble fingers. Her granddaughter Sopulu sat nearby, playing with a small wooden doll she had carved herself. Sopulu, Grandma Roseline called softly, her voice carrying a note of urgency. "Yes, Grandma," Sopulu responded. Sopulu ran to her grandmother's side, clutching her doll. She sat on the mat, her bright eyes curious as she looked up at Grandma Roseline, who had set her weaving aside. "My child," Grandma began, her voice low and serious. "I need you to promise me something." Sopulu tilted her head. "What is it, Grandma?" Grandma Roseline leaned closer, her eyes scanning the compound as if to ensure no one was listening. "Tomorrow, when Chief Azuka invites all the children to his mansion for the Christmas party, you must not go. Do you hear me?" Sopulu frowned, confused. "Why, Grandma?" "Everyone says Chief Azuka is kind. He gives out food, gifts, and even money. Ifoma told me she can't wait to go." Grandma Rosaline's expression darkened. "That man's wealth is not from God. His parties are not what they seem. Many children who go there, their lives are never the same." "But Grandma," Sopulu protested, "the whole village says he is generous. How can it be bad to eat and celebrate with others?" Grandma Roseline placed a firm hand on Sopulu's shoulders. "Sometimes, what looks sweet can be poisonous. You are young, and there are things you don't understand yet. Promise me you won't go." Sopulu hesitated. The thought of missing the most talked about party in the village filled her with disappointment. But her grandmother's tone left no room for argument. "I promise," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. Grandma Roseline sighed in relief, though the worry in her eyes didn't fade. By the next morning, the village of Umudike was buzzing with excitement. Children ran through the streets clutching glossy invitations to Chief Azuka's Christmas party. The flyers were vibrant, with images of steaming jollof rice, glistering fried chicken, and shiny wrapped presents. Sopulu sat on the wooden bench outside her grandmother's hut, watching other children chatter about the party. Ifoma, her best friend, dashed into the compound, her face glowing with excitement. "Sopulu, why aren't you ready?" Ifoma asked, spinning around to show off her new yellow dress. Sopulu shook her head. "Grandma said I shouldn't go." Ifoma gasped. "Why not? Everyone is going. Chief Azuka gives the best food, and the gifts are amazing. Last year, one boy got a bicycle." "I don't know," Sopulu said, avoiding her friend's gaze. "Grandma just said it's dangerous." "Dangerous?" Ifoma laughed. "Come on, Sopulu. Your grandma is just being old-fashioned. It's just a party. What could go wrong?" Sopulu stayed silent, torn between loyalty to her grandmother and the pull of the festivities. By afternoon, the children had gathered outside Chief Azuka's grand mansion. It towered over the village, its white wall gleaming under the sunlight. A giant Christmas tree stood in the front yard, adorned with flickering lights and sparkling ornaments. Chief Azuka, dressed in an elegant white senator, stood at the entrance, his booming laughter echoing through the air as he welcomed the children. "Welcome in, my little ones," he called. "Today we celebrate, eat and drink, and enjoy ourselves. Christmas is a time for giving." Inside the mansion was like a dream. Tables were piled high with food, golden fried chicken, bowls of jollof rice, steaming pepper soup, and plates of pastries. Servants in crisp uniform handed out colorful drinks and wrapped of gifts to the eager children. Sopulu sat by her window, watching the distant glow of lights from the mansion. She could hear music and laughter, and her heart ached with longing. As night fell, the joyous atmosphere inside the mansion began to shift. Chief Azuka's servants gathered the children into a large, dimly lit hall at the back of the house. "Now, my children," Chief Azuka said, his voice warm but commanding, "it's time for the grand finale. Follow me." The children, clutching their gifts, followed him eagerly. In the center of the room stood a massive mirror, framed on a gold strange symbol, glowed faintly on the walls, and the air felt colder. Chief Azuka began to chant in a low, unfamiliar language. The children's laughter faded as the mirror began to shimmer, their reflections in the glass twisted, their faces becoming distorted and hollow. One by one, the children collapsed to the floor, unconscious, their gifts crumbled into ash, and as a dark mist rippled around the mirror, absorbing their faint reflection. Back at the hut, Sopulu couldn't sleep. Her promise to her grandma haunted her, but so did her guilt about letting Ifeoma go alone. She finally decided to tell Grandma Roseline what she had seen from her window. "Grandma," she said urgently, "something is wrong at Chief Azuka's mansion. The music has stopped, and the light keeps flickering. I think Ifeoma and others are in danger." Grandma Rosaline's face grew worried. She stood and went to her old wooden chest, pulling out a small pouch filled with herbs, cowries, shells, and red cloth. "Take this," Grandma said, handing it to Sopulu. "It will protect you. You must go to the mansion and destroy the source of his power, but be careful, evil surrounds that place." Sopulu approached the mansion, her heart pounding. The once bright house was now dark and foreboding, its Christmas lights flickering like dying embers. Inside the hall, she found the children lying motionless on the floor. In the mirror, their distorted reflections stared out, trapped. Chief Azuka turned to face her, his once handsome features now twisted into something monstrous. "You dare enter my domain," he sneered. "I have come to save my friends and others," Sopulu said, gripping the pouch tightly. Chief Azuka laughed, a chilling sound. "These children are my offering. Their destinies will sustain my wealth and power. You cannot stop me." Sopulu remembered her grandmother's instructions. She opened the pouch, scattering the contents across the room. The herbs ignited with a bright light, and Chief Azuka howled in pain. The mirror cracked, then shattered, releasing the children's reflections. The dark mist dissipated, and the children stayed awake, confused but unharmed. Chief Azuka let out a final scream before vanishing into the shadows. By dawn, the children returned to their families, and the village was abuzz with the story of Sopulu's bravery. The mansion stood abandoned, a haunting reminder of the dangers of unchecked greed and the cost of ill-gotten wealth. Grandma Roseline embraced Sopulu tightly, pride and relief shining in her eyes. From that Christmas on, the village of Umudike learned to be cautious of gifts that seemed too good to be true, and Sopulu became a legend, remembered as the girl who stood up for everyone. We have come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. So tell us in the comment section, would you trust a stranger's gift during the holiday?